We have talked about how we are inserting some value. Now let us talk about editing. So it's a very simple technique. We'll use simple techniques, not very much think. Okay, how I'm going to edit. So user will decide to edit something and I will respond accordingly. Um, so let's say I have a while. Mm, I will ask, do you want to edit your data? I'll put it inside a cout and I will give an inline and I will have integer or char. Let's have an integer uh, option or decision. Okay, and C decision. So and then C. And then I will write cout a while loop while let's say here to edit your data insert any number except -1 and then decision if while decision so this one is now in sentinel. We have talked about this one while decision not equal to -1. So if user didn't insert -1, it will ask to let's say to change to edit integer edit number. So we have an edit number. To edit your data, insert any number except -1. So it will put a number except -1 if you want to delete to the edit. Cout edit uh, from 0 to edit from 0 to let's say name size because how many elements I have to ID size, let's say ID dot size. I'm making some of them automatic and some of them like uh, so edit from 0 to ID size and I'm using a cin. User will insert something into edit number and then after he inserted that number, what should I do? I should edit the name of for that ID. So what I can say is that he inserted a number and I will say name something like this, name at edit number -1 equals to input. Okay. Uh, change the name to what? And this will be a cout. So basically I'm doing some coding, like it's not so much related with vector, it's more like maybe opening your, maybe how you are going to fix the problems. Change the name to what you like. And then an end line. and I'm seeing get line because the user may insert something more than a name, I mean more than one word. C into the input. That's it. No, instead of get line, it should be like this. I'm not sure. No, should be like this, but where's the input? What's the variable? Okay, I should have another variable string input. Okay, very nice. So it will get the input from the user for that number, and then you will say edit number at that position is equals to what he has inserted, and we want to show the result after change. What about this file? What's this file doing? Okay, let's run my program and let's see. Insert user ID 1, and then username Ahmed. Press 1. Let's say user ID was 2. Okay, sorry. Uh, let's just Control C. Yeah, let's run my program again. 1 Ahmed, Y 2 Ahmed, Y 3 Hussein, Y 4 Sarah, Y 5 Sirwa, N. And you see how many elements I have right now. To continue, press Y, Y, okay. 1 Ahmed, 2 Muhammad, okay. To edit your data, insert any number except -1 to edit your number. So I want to edit from 0 to 5. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From 0 to 5, it says. Okay, let's say he wants to insert 2. So he will write 2. But in fact, 2 here is what? 0 and 1. But he inserts the 2. Okay? Okay, and when he presses, okay, let's come here. And what's the problem? Okay, change name to what you like. Edit from 0 to 5. Okay, 2 we said. Is there a problem? Yes, there's a problem, of course. Edit from 0 to ID size, and then cin. After that, change the name to what you like. There should be a problem just like here. I'm not sure if it is like this or this. I will try this way. If there is no problem, there's a problem. I think there's a problem here with using cin. I don't know why it is giving me an error like this. So change the name to what you like, and then I'm saying get line using cin on input, but it doesn't accept it. Okay, let me change it like this. Okay, in order to make it like easier, 1 Ahmed, Y 2 Ahmed, Y 3 Sarah. No, okay. To edit okay. From 0 to 3, I will say I want to change Muhammad, so I will write 2. Change the name to what you like, Hussein, and then edit from 0 to 3. Okay, we didn't. It is not asking us again to change the decision. That's why it will continue forever. Yeah? Okay, so let's make them just like here. Let's copy this and just paste it here. and I will say to continue, press any number except -1. And this is decision instead of decide, because we have an integer of decision. And this way I'm able to, so this time there is no problem. So step by step, fixing your problem is always something like this. You go the first time, you don't see something, then you try another thing, then you try another thing, and this way you are able to find a good solution for your for a problem. And y 200 and y 3 Sarah. No. Okay, I want to edit 2. Edit from 0. Okay, 2 I said. And change the name to what you like, to Hassan. Do continue, press -1. I press -1. And you see I have one Ahmed and Hassan, Sarah, and stuff and stuff. So I try to edit something and I'm able to edit it. Well, this is a very basic way to try to edit something. In fact, there are many other ways uh, to try to edit something, and we can make this one optimized to another thing, to a better way. But this is a very basic way on when you want to try to edit something. Just try very simply and try to do it with a C out and C. Okay, very nice. Right now, insertion here showing the output, and this one is editing, showing the output. Now it's time to delete. So I'll just copy, no, I'll write it. I'll not copy it. I will try to write it. Let's say cout. Do you want to delete anything? Anything? And then I will have and endline. So do you want to delete anything? Let's say yes, right, yes, or maybe all capital, or maybe let's not make this one like this. Let's say right yes, or any other writing, or no, not it doesn't need to. So this way I will use a string for the decision, str decide. So this is a string decision. Okay, so we have used char, we have used integer, and I will use string right now. Okay, so I will write another while loop, while string decide. So here there will be a cin for the string decide, while string decide equals to yes in capital, and I'm going to copy this, or equals to yes, this one is small, or equals to this one is small, or equals to this one is small. So this way I have 4 cases, and I will write another case and I'll finish it. Or equals to all small. So all capital, one of them small, or one of them small, or yeah, in the case of 2 of them small, I don't know what they have to. Let's write it as well and finish it. Or yes. Okay, So in any case, he write any kind of D, yes, it will continue. So do you want to delete anything? Anything? Write yes or no. Yes to delete. Or no, or no. Okay. So when user is writing yes, so he will come into the inside of the while loop, and he's going to decide on which element he's going to delete. So we should get something from him, integer, maybe delete del number. So we are getting which element he wants to delete, and then we are going to delete. So before that, cout enter the ID to delete, and we are writing here scene del number. So he's inserting the delete number, and what I should do at this point, I should delete both the ID and the name as well. So what should I do? I should say, what's my array? My vector's name is ID, one of them, and the other was name is name. Yeah. So whenever he's deleting something, he's not going to like delete only the ID. He's going to delete both the ID and the name for that vector. So I have erase function here, and let's erase here as well. So I have erase function. Inside here, I should decide, I should find, like, let's say I should determine or uh, put the exact number where he should delete the value. Okay, so delete number is, so if you have 1 2 3, so he's pressing 2, so I should copy this and erase means it's erasing in some point. So if it is in the beginning or it is in the end. So we have a function just like right here. I should say from the beginning plus that, and where beginning id dot beginning. Okay, so this way I am able to erase where from the id beginning plus that amount of number. So if the user decided to press 1, so I will say he's deleting the first one, so I simply should put -1 here as well, and I'm going to put this in like this. So what I mean, what's our data? Let's summarize it. My data is 1 Ahmed, and he wants to delete Ahmed, let's say 2 and Muhammad. What's my first data? This is the 0 index, and this one is the 1 index. If he is deleting the first one, so I should say delete number -1. If he is deleting the second one, so when he presses 2, I should make this 2 to 1, and then delete from the beginning +1. So beginning is 0, +1 is this data. I hope it is clear. So I'm deleting this one, and I'm going to copy this, and just right here I will say name erase, and this one is name, and delete that number. I hope it is clear. It's not too much complex, but it needs some time to code with me. Otherwise, it's a bit complex to understand. Okay, nice. What we have right now is to make the decision happen here, like this. Do you want to delete anything more? So if he is coming inside, so this means that it's more, and seeing that this side, and it will return to this position. I want to add one more point. Do we have yes, all small? Yes. Okay, nice. I'm running my program, let's say. Right now, let's see what we have done. So we have some insertion, we have some addition, and we are right now doing some deletion. Okay. Insert user ID 1, username Ahmed, Y 2, and I'll write Muhammad, and Y 3 and Sarah, and Y 4 Siwa, and that's it. No. Okay, to edit your data, insert any number except mine. So I don't want to edit anything. Do you want to delete anything? Write yes to delete or no. So I'll write yes. ID to delete, I want to delete Muhammad. I'll write 2. Do you want to do anything more? No. And then press any key to continue. Nice. We haven't printed out. That's a problem. Yes, we should write all this thing again. Okay. We have no other solution. Okay. 1, Ahmed. Yes. 2, Muhammad. Yes. 3, Sarah. No. -1. And then do you want to delete anything? Yes. Let's say press, I'm going to delete Muhammad 2. No. So Ahmed and Sarah, you see, we have deleted Muhammad successfully, and the size of the vector right now is what? Is 2. So this is a very good way to create real-life applications. Now the size is big, like the our vector is resized, and our vector can be added to, we can add more numbers, just like here. We can have a while loop here. Do you want to continue? Then it's going to the upper thing again, and it will go one by one to the insertion, and you will have a big data to work on. So this is a very simple application we have done, we have created. We inserted some data. We try to delete some data, or to insert and then to edit some data. Okay. Here right now we have some more functions. For example, see out the first time your application is starting. So I have id.empty. What's the problem? id.empty. I have this function. This function is checking either my vector is empty or not. So I will say if id empty, if my vector is empty, let's have a C out here. Your vector is empty, your id vector. Let's say you don't have any data. You do not have any id. And I can have an else statement here, or I can create the same thing for the name, or I can do something like, or if id empty, the id was empty, or if the name was empty, you do not have any id or name. So this way I am able to check and see if I have any value inside the vectors I have. Or I can make something like this. After everything have been done, I can say id dot clear. This means that delete everything inside the id, and I will delete this one as name. So right now I am able to clear them, and this way I will be having this message. So let's run my program. I will not delete, I will not insert the user ID on this one and Ahmed, and to continue, no, -1, and I'll write no. You see, I write it no. So this was showing me the last part of showing me this one, the for loop, showing me the vector elements, and then I deleted ID and the name. You didn't have any ID or name, so I emptied them, I cleared them, and I checked them if um, these vectors are empty or not, and it showed me like, okay, you don't have anything inside the vector. Why is that? Because you cleared everything before that, you deleted everything before that. Okay, so right now if you noticed, what we had previously, we had push back. What about push front? We don't have push front. So how we are able to insert some data into the front? We should use techniques. Otherwise, it's impossible to add an element into the front element. So this is the let's say the bad point of using vector. You can only add an element to the end line, to the last part of the vector, not to the beginning. You are not able to add an element into the beginning or into the middle or into the into something like that. You should always add to the last element of the vector. Let's say if the vector is 20, when you are saying pushback, it will go make 21 and then add your element to there. So is there a way I'm able to add an element in the beginning? Yes, of course, there is a way. And it's always uh, like using techniques, we should always have things like this. So I'm going to comment this out. And yeah, I'm commenting this out. So what I have, I only inserted some data, and let me have a C out here as well. And I'm going to minimize them all. And if I have this way, will it be fixed? Yeah, it's very nice. It will be, oops, very nice. And this one, it will be appended to each other. This one, yes, and this all have written pretty much, I think. Okay, so I'm going to minimize it once, and there's nothing. Okay, very nice. What we said is we want to insert some data, and this is just showing. We want to insert some data to the beginning of the vector. How we are able to insert some data into the beginning? I can say, let's say ID dot. Let's say we got the data from, we have a string add before add first element. So my name is first element for it, and I will write let's say Hussein. So I'm going to make Hussein the first one. Okay. Okay, very nice. And yes, I am going to have an integer first number, and it's going to be 11. So Hussein have an ID of 11. Okay, nice. How I'm able to insert these things? I will say ID. So I'm going to insert the ID first. ID dot what we have. Let's see. Assign, add type, capacity. I don't know. Many things we have. What I care about is insert. So I want to insert some data. First of all, it was pushback. It was sending, but this one is inserting into something. So this is a difference than the other one. Okay. This one, you are putting the insert and all the elements will shift back. into the last. Let's say the 1 becomes 2, the 2 becomes 3, the 3 becomes 4, because you are pushing or you are inserting some data into some place. And where I want to insert, I want to insert into the beginning. And what's your value? My value is first number. So this way I'm able to put the first number into the first place. Okay? And I will copy this. I'm going to say name insert, where I'm going to put at the beginning of which place of the vector name. And what's your data? My data is, let's make this one not first element, F element. And this way I'm going to send it just right here. Okay, so I hope it is working. There's no problem with that. Otherwise we should fix the error. Okay, let's see. I'm running my application right now. So we should first insert some data, and then at the beginning of that data, okay, there's a problem. Let's see the error list. A return type of main should be in, that's signed, unsigned, mismatch. Let's see what I have. And then here's the problem. It says cannot see the project. I'm wondering if all the others are due to this problem. I simply copy everything and I'm going to create a new project. Empty project 11, and let's see if I'm going to, okay, and project a new item. Very nice. And let's comment this out. Okay. Oh my god, this was the problem. We didn't have any problems. Okay. We didn't fix the command line. We should fix that. Always build solution. Let's see if I have any problem. Of course not. Okay. And where am I? Debug. Start without debugging. Insert user ID 1 and username. I'm saying Ahmed. No. Ahmed Hussein. Yeah. Look at this. We have inserted Hussein after Ahmed. And why is that? Because I want to make it in the beginning. Okay. Right now, insert user ID 1 and username Ahmed. No. Yes. So this was, if you see, I have inserted in the ID into the beginning of ID. And what's the name ID number? It is 11. And what's then I put Hussein, which is here, into the beginning of the vector name. Okay. So this way I was able to put 11 before 1. So I'm able to edit the places even. So this is a very good way. This is the only technique we can change or insert an element into some place. Can I put it in the middle? Yes. So after that, I have Hussein and then Ahmed. I want to put a number between them. So I will say I'm going to put +1, which means that I'm putting Hussein after Hussein and then Ahmed will come. Okay, Hussein right now it's the first one, and the beginning +1 means the 0 index is the first one, and the 1 index is, so I'm putting in the 1 index. So it will be Hussein, and then Ahmed. So if I put progress and then I'm saying Ahmed, So press Y no. You see, I have Hussein, and then I have Ahmed. Okay, so this way I'm able to insert my data either from the beginning or from the end point. From here, I can say end +1 or end -1. Okay, very nice. So what we studied here, we studied after the pushback, we studied clear, we studied insert, we studied erase, we studied empty. So these were different functions we have used. We studied beginning, name beginning at the beginning of the vector. And what else? We studied clear to delete everything inside the vector. And that's it, I think. For the vector, we were able to work on it, and that's it.